Rain season always changed the forest before the first storm arrived. The air grew heavy beneath the canopy. Leaves turned their undersides towards the sky. Even the ravens became quieter, watching the clouds gather beyond the higher branches. That was usually enough warning for the nomads, which meant it was time for chores. Children carried bark strips from storage hollows. Hunters checked rope bridges for weak knots. Lantern covers were sealed against wind and rain. Others carried water from lower pools using tightly woven baskets lined with sap-coated leaves. The work stretched across the village like ant rebuilding weather. Most worked quickly. One did not. Among the younger nomads was a boy who treated chores like punishment created by tired elders. If someone carried water, he joked about how slowly they walked. If someone patched bark roofs, he reminded them rain had not fallen yet. And if someone tried to hand him work, he somehow disappeared, at least until food was mentioned. His mother caught him laughing across the comfortable branch while everyone else worked below. "You were supposed to patch the roof before sunset," she warned. "It survived the last storm," he answered with a grin. "So did you," she replied. That earned laughter from nearby workers. The boy bowed dramatically, like some great storyteller, embarrassed by applause. Then he climbed halfway towards his hollow, carrying bark patches he had no intention of using. Instead, he spent most of the afternoon distracting the others. When water carried across the ropeways, he announced their arrival like a royal parade. "Make way!" The mightier river workers approached. One nearly dropped his basket laughing. Later, he spotted a group collecting grasshoppers beneath the roof and shouted, "Careful! Leave at these 3 behind, for the forest will complain." Even some elders hid smiles behind their hands. The boy loved making people laugh. That was usually enough to keep him from finishing anything. As the afternoon deepened, the village slowly prepared itself for rain. Older nomads layered fresh bark over weak hollow roofs. Children rubbed warm sap into cracks to keep the water from leaking inside. Near the lower roots, 2 gatherers taught young children how to line water baskets with broad leaves before sealing the edges with sap. Without lining, water slipped through the woven fibers too quickly. One child lifted a finished basket proudly. "It actually works." "Only if you weave tight," the elder answered. Nearby, another rope crew tightened support vines while ravens hopped along the rails inspecting the work as if they owned themselves. All around the hollows, small work kept the village alive. But while others prepared, the joking boy kept delaying his roof. Each time someone reminded him he was lazy looking towards the sky, "It barely even cloudy," he said. Unfortunately for him, the forest already knew better. That night, the storm finally came. Not violently, quietly. Rain touched the upper canopy first, whispering softly through the leaves. Then slowly, the sound deepened. Water rolled down bark walls. Wind swayed rope bridges gently in the darkness. Inside the hollows, lantern lights dimmed low beneath bark covers. while families settled into warm bedding stuffed with animal down. The boy wrapped himself tightly inside blankets and smiled proudly at his dry hollow. For nearly 3 whole minutes, drip, he opened his eyes. Another drip stuck to his forehead. Then another. Then suddenly, cold rain poured straight through the unfinished roof above him. The boy yipped and scrambled upright as water splashed across his bedding. Within moments, blankets soaked, floor muddy, lantern spluttered, floor flooded towards the doorway. Outside, thunder rolled through the trees while the storm grew heavier. The boys spent night dragging boughs beneath leaves that multiplied faster than it could ever catch them. At one point, he tried holding bark over the ceiling with both hands while balancing on one foot across a slippery mat. The roof lost that argument immediately. By the morning, he looked like drowned squirrel wrapped in white blankets. Sunlight finally slipped through the dripping of the canopy by dawn. The storm had passed. The village slowly emerged from the hollows. Workers stretched sore backs. Children emptied rainwater from storage bowls. Ravens shook water from their feathers above the ropeways. Then everyone noticed the boy sitting outside the hollow beneath a pile of soaked blankets. His hair dripped. His lantern no longer worked. And somewhere behind him, water still dripped steadily through the roof. No one talked about him cruelly. Most didn't need to. The storm had already handled that part. His father climbed beside him, carrying fresh bark strips beneath one arm. For a while, neither smoked. Then his father handed him pitchers and said quietly, "Warnings are lighter than wet blankets." The boy lowered his head. "Yes, sir." Together, they repaired the roof properly, while village slowly returned to life around them. And after that season, whenever storms approached, the boy was somehow always the first one checking roofs. If you enjoyed this story, share it with another traveler beneath the trees, and subscribe for more stories from the world of nomads.